I'm a very process kind of guy.
Yeah.
I have routines. I do daily check-in, check-outs. I write every week. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a very process kind of guy, and I realized that all my processes were for the company and for the operation side of the company.
Mm.
And there was exactly zero process about me and having to grow as a leader, and zero process about leadership and fostering leadership in my company. And talking with you and starting that journey, it was very clear that as the company grows and as I grow as a leader, you just have to practice. Like Michael Jordan probably was practicing a few times today.
Yeah.
And so if you want to be Michael Jordan for business, basically you have to practice.
Welcome to episode 166. It's not every day I have the chance to chat with a client of mine on the podcast. So when Renan Devillieres, founder and CEO of OSS Ventures, a startup studio building and investing in the future of blue collars and operations, accepted to be my guest, we talked about his entrepreneur bottlenecks, how coaching has helped him tackle them, and the results for his professional and personal life. We also discuss his business dream, how entrepreneurship has transformed his life, and why he became an entrepreneur after a successful career as a consultant. So do you feel a gap between where your business is and where it should be? Or perhaps you've become the bottleneck in your business. Don't guess, assess now. Take the bottleneck index to identify your potential bottlenecks. Find out how you can address them. You'll find the link in the show notes. Now let's turn to our conversation. Hello, Ronan. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Laurent. Nice to be here.
Good. So you're in Paris. I am in Finland. We're not too far away. But one thing is that we started working together recently because you hired me as your coach. Thank you. And I have to say, you're a very dedicated client, and I really enjoy your achievements and your enthusiasm. And so I would like you to share those achievements with everyone, because I know you've already had like a few breakthroughs, all related to bottlenecks, of course. So I think it's a great place to start. Can you tell us, before we started working together, where were you, in terms of mindset and bottlenecks?
Sure. So there was a disconnect because my company that I founded was doing great and was reaching the next milestone, which was a big investment and everything. So that was awesome. And from the outside, you could tell that the company was going great places. And at the same time, I was feeling two big sentiments. And the two big sentiments was, one, I was letting my family down. So not spending enough time, not quality time. I was not really there. It was not. And the second was, I was growing more and more dissatisfied with what the company was producing versus what I had in mind. Feeling dissatisfied and feeling alone in having to put out all of the fires myself and some of the team members producing work that was good quality, but not what I had in mind and everything. And so I was having those two feelings at the same time for like months, maybe something like that. And when we met, I think I told you I want to work on that, and I had not identified what was causing that. So it was pretty clear that it was feeling that way. And so that that was the start. It was like, I don't know, 8 weeks.
Yeah. And so the fact that you were feeling that way, like you're talking about this disconnect from where you want your business to be and where it actually was. What was the implication on your business and on your personal life?
Clearly, the implication of the business, where the business went to a kick-ass milestone, which was the second investment round, and everything being really clear and having money in the bank and achievements and good numbers. And at the same time, I was not seeing current organization and myself in that organization the way it was working.
Yeah.
Next milestone. And so basically it was like, this company, this organization, and me as a leader in that organization are not going to go to the next milestone if it keeps being like that. So number one priority in the company. That's for professional, and for personal, it was taking, not training, because my wife is awesome, and so she signed on being married to an entrepreneur. I guess signed for that too, but let's say it was subpar and taking a part of my energy.
Yeah. How long did it take you to get to that point? Like, were there a particular like moment where you were like, "Wow, that's enough"?
During the last fundraising process, I was doing basically 4 jobs at the same time, which was fundraising for my company, and also doing the operational for the company, and also setting the strategy for the company, and also managing everyone. And I was working literally 4 days for 2 months. And at some point, I told myself, like, it's been 4 weeks, not 1 day off. Something has to change, and it's not efficient. And so I think that was you can call it the lowest point. That was the defining moment, yeah.
And then that's how we met each other. This is a state of mind. This is a state of mind you were into when we met each other. And I remember our first session was absolutely fantastic because you had such a big breakthrough. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What has changed since we started working together?
Yeah. Well, what has changed is that I'm dedicating time to grow myself as a leader and to grow the company further and to actually shape the culture and processes and leaders of the company. And I'm actually dedicating time at that. To me, that's one of the most important things that changed. I had a big breakthrough with coaching sessions, which was, it's pretty simple actually. I was spending less than 5% of my time growing the organization leader, growing myself. The art of delegating and letting go was a known science to me. And so, of course, what works with a 10, 15 people company starts breaking at 20 people and scaling. Of course it does. And so the big breakthrough was, okay, this is the change of job and mindset and skill set and mindset that I need to have. And so I need to do that for my company and for the next step to be protected. So that was, I think, the biggest breakthrough. And it was funny because you tried to get me to create those key success indicators.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one were shit because I had no because I had no clarity on what was needed. And with the clarity, then the new key success indicators were very clear. And the impact was felt in a matter of few weeks.
Yeah. And it's interesting what you said, because you said it's so simple. That's a word you use, simple. But how come, when you think about it now, how come you were not able to do it yourself? How come, someone like me was able to have that impact on you?
I think you're really good at asking questions that make me think. And I think also that actually dedicating time and having a process to do that and to just think hard about the things and everything forces, at least for me, it's useful to have accountability to another human being, asking the tough questions and saying, okay, where do you want to go? Is this true? And all those things. And so actually having a process, being accountable to another human being and everything, the process made the result good. And yes, the output is simple, but the way to get there was kind of painful. And I remember, and thank you for putting up with that, I sent you like a Notion doc of 10 pages saying, I'm thinking about this. And so that was the reasoning part. So the reasoning part is 10 pages, but the output is like 3 lines. So yeah, that's what.
Yeah, but not all my clients send me like 10 pages.
And so, Laurent, tell me the truth. You read all 10 pages?
I did, like, quickly, but yeah, quickly. But if you would like me to read them like thoroughly, I would.
Yeah, but actually you didn't need to do that really thoroughly because the most important part was me sitting down and trying to write down what was going on and how.
No,
any fluid situation for sure.
But it's interesting because it gave me like the structure, the way you're thinking. But we are diverting here. I'm really it's not every day that I'm talking to someone on the podcast where we can really talk about the impact of being coached on bottlenecks, which is why I want to insist a little bit. What you said is also very important. You said dedicating time.
Yeah.
What do you mean by dedicating time?
I'm a very process kind of guy.
Yeah.
I have routines. I do daily check-in, check-outs. I write every week. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a very process kind of guy. And I realized that all my processes were for the company and for the operational side of the company. And there was exactly zero process about me and having to grow as a leader, and zero process about leadership and fostering leadership in my company. And talking with you and starting that journey, it was very clear that as the company grows and as I grow as a leader, you just have to practice. Like Michael Jordan probably was practicing a few times today.
Yeah.
And so if you want to be Michael Jordan for business, basically you have to practice.
Yeah, you have to practice and you have to change your role as the company evolves. And you have to let the leaders also take more responsibilities, more decision, etc. And like you said, they need to let go. Letting go, delegating is the most difficult things to do for every entrepreneur. Maybe a bit of ego there.
Yeah, for sure. And also, in my case, for sure, there's ego in there. And I built that company with my own hands. Like at the start, it was me in a closet with an intern. And we grew to 20 people to launch 19 products. It's live. We have tens of thousands of users and everything. It's 20 people in the company, 500 people in the areas of companies. And so when you all built it yourself, it's very easy to say exactly how any single detail needs to be done, because that's the result of your thinking. And so letting go to other people's opinion of how things should be, to also be okay with not having information on every single detail of the company and everything. It's a work in progress.
When you started that company, when was that again? How many years ago?
Yes.
Okay. So at that time, what was your dream, and how far are you from the dream today, or has your dream changed?
The dream stayed the same. I was an executive in various positions in manufacturing, and then I created and sold a tech company, a tech startup in San Francisco. I just want incredible technology to be used by blue collars everywhere in the world. And I want blue collars and people with low education and with jobs that are considered as not good. I want them to be having incredible lives and creating products that are just incredible and change our lives. And I want manufacturing and physical products to be hotter and more important than software. And so that's the dream, which is very good because the dream is very far. And 4 years ago, I said, okay, I'm going to create a company that it's a venture builder, it's a startup studio, a company that builds company. So we build 19 companies, and our products are used in 1,700 virtual sites, and there are 80,000 users, and a little more than 500 people work in all the companies, trying to make factories a better place to work in every day. And so I would say that it's exhilarating how big this has become in 4 years. And there are 55,000 factories in Europe and 65,000 factories in the US, Canada, and Mexico. So we are at 0.4% of the market penetrated, which is, when you put it like that, epsilon. And it's like there is so much to do and so much potential in continuing to do that. And now we have incredible investors along our sides. We have money to do that for another 6 years, and we have perspectives to really change the game. So it's incredible. when you say it, is your dream changing? I would say that one aspect of the dream that is maturing is that I'm starting to shift my point of control, which means that I don't necessarily want that vision to be done by me and my organization. I want to be the guy that helps the organization be the organization that does that. And so it's more fostering a movement and leaders and incredible startups that do it, and rather than just having to do it like Superman myself and losing my nights and not seeing my daughter because of that. So yeah, I'm starting to shift my focus in how to achieve it.
So hence the studio venture. Yeah. So you help building startups or companies that can help achieve your dream, and also you can multiply the effect faster, I guess. Yeah. Well, where does that dream come from?
It's a good question. First, it comes by my history. I first worked in a factory at 23 years old by pure accident. I was a consultant, and my first assignment was in a factory. I had no idea what a factory was. And I discovered the whole world where actual people, like the people that when you are working in tech or in banking, you don't talk to those people, like actual real people, and they are working with engineers and they are transforming matter and everything. And so I discovered a world that I just fell in love with. And then I discovered Silicon Valley and technology and that incredible movement of making big scale change extremely fast and trying to better the world of day. And the fact that those two incredible worlds were not colliding was maddening to me. And so I guess that's when the dream started. And I think going further, it goes even in family story with a lot of my ancestors that were either working with blue collar people or like those kind of people for like few generations. So the coding is ancient.
Right. Can you be a bit more concrete to give us like maybe a couple of examples on how you are affecting like blue collars?
Yeah. So let me take an example, marketing. So marketing, we launched the company 3 years ago with the two co-founders. We went to, I think, 20 factories. And we realized that the management of people's skill learning is extremely well done for white collars. So if you are a guy with a computer, HR will have processes to help you learn and develop yourself. Okay, if you're a blue collar working on a machine in Iowa, good luck with that. Not going to happen.
Really?
Yeah, more than 80% of skill management of blue collar is done on Excel spreadsheets. It is the second worst environment to have professional development, according to the US Census Bureau.
Wow.
And so basically 40% of the workers in the world are not having the best management of the skills that they should have. So we saw that and we said, okay, we are going to launch marketing. And so marketing lets frontline manager say, what is the skill set of that particular guy, that particular girl, and how it works, do some planning, and there is an AI saying, okay, that guy is particularly good at this and this and that, he should learn that and have more skill and be more employable and everything. And so marketing, they just raised a big funding round right now. They are live in 300 factories.
Okay.
They have, I think, 12K users. And they are managed, and the 12K users are managers. So it is estimated that they are managing the careers and the professional development of 90K people. And we did a big study for a pharma group. And the conclusion was that when an employee is managed by marketing versus not managed, they on average learn 3 times more skills per year.
Yeah.
And so that's just bringing to the world of blue collars and operations the bare minimum of considering them like humans that can fulfill their potential and how tech should help those people. And that's one of the 19
That's very interesting. It's certainly something that you don't come across every day, that you don't think about every day. But it's a huge population, those blue collars are absolutely, and they are part of the system. They are workers. They should be treated like
Yeah.
workers, like you would
Yes.
avoid?
Yeah. And it goes further than that. I think a large part of the big tension that we see in the West right now, where a lot of people are very dissatisfied with current system and everything.
Yeah.
Also because the divide between the people who can benefit from technology and everything and those who do not, it's widening. And so caring about the people who are not getting enough care from the tech world, yeah, to me it's an urgency.
Well, I wish you good luck with that. Trying to change the world. You are another very typical entrepreneur trying to change the world. Why? Yeah, no, but it's about impact. Like every entrepreneur I've been talking to, you crave impact. But my question then is why did you decide to become an entrepreneur?
Interesting question. I really think it's about having an impact. And I had jobs for the first 10 years of my life. I was a high-flying consultant. I was a factory director. I was a very high-ranking member of the operation team at Richmond and everything. And basically for 10 years, everyone said to me the same thing, which is, it's great working with you. You have a lot of energy and vision. But why do you care so much? It's tiring, and we don't want like all the impact that you want to have, all that ambition that you have for organization and us, and just turn it down.
Really?
And I don't want to turn it down. I want to empathize. And
Really? Wait. You people were telling you, why do you care so much?
yes,
Because it's my job.
my first manager after 6 months working, she told me, and one last thing, Renan, it's just a job. I was like, what? and actually, I really think that just caring a lot, like really wanting to make a difference and an impact, at the end of the day, most of organizations are bottleneck in there. Or at least the organization that I was working in were bottleneck. And so I chose to create my own organizations.
When you're saying like your first manager told you it's just a job, this is something I have to remind my clients too sometimes. It's just a job, but not because they don't care, because they care too much sometimes. Again, but that is caring is good, but in your case, as you know, it can lead to burnout because hardworking. But I'm really, really surprised that someone who tell you, well, you care too much, you have to decrease the level of caring.
I think, and I think you've seen it during the coaching. Me, caring goes with intensity, and I've been described as an intense guy numerous times. And if you're really intense, I think you should be an entrepreneur.
Okay, fair enough. And so you've been an entrepreneur for some years now. I know that before OSS Venture, you had an interesting experience in Brazil.
Yeah.
You started with tell us a little bit, like quickly, about that experience.
Yeah, sure. So it is, because it's still existing, a company about recruiting blue collars using AI and giving them chance based on what they are and what are their aspirations, rather than a piece of paper or with written. I've been doing two jobs my whole life, and so we did that, and we started scaling the company. We went to Brazil because the law was better in Brazil. We couldn't really do the business in Europe, so we went to Brazil, and it went well. We started scaling the company. And then at the Series B, my co-founder and I were not agreeing on what to do. And basically, I said, okay, well, in that case, I'm out, because we cannot keep on having the agreement on where the company should go. And so yeah, that was the experience. I'm very grateful about that experience, because it taught me how to do a tech company. It taught me a lot of things. It taught me also a lot of things about myself and my story. And so, yeah, and also Give me a bunch of money. So
yeah, the next business. So that's a good transition to my next question. You say it taught you a lot about yourself. Now I always like to find out, what entrepreneurship has taught you. How hard it has, transformed you.
Lots of ways. I would say first, I'm trying to be a good founder, but I'm pretty sure I'm not a good employee.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn that.
Yeah, you care too much.
Yeah, probably. So that's first. Second is I'm not shy about my opinions anymore because also I let go of most of my opinions. So I have a lot of fewer opinions, but those are deep and important, and I choose my actions given that, and that's new. Like the way I see it is entrepreneurs, you are in the market.
Yeah.
So the reality hits you in the face all the time. You can have opinions about hiring, about markets, about how to invest, about how to recruit and everything. Yeah, go. Test it out in the wild. We'll see how that goes. And so reality and the feedback loop, it humbles you, but also what you think is true is deeper in you. And so I have way less opinions, but they are deep and I hold them. So yeah, I think that's the second thing that changed me. I would say the first.
Yeah. Go on. Do you have an experience? Do you have an example like of a deep opinion now?
Yeah. When I was an employee, I wanted to work with a very particular kind of people, which can best be described as ex-consultants, like very structured, very straight in their communication, says what they do what they say, easy to deal with. Since working in tech, I understood that those are a type of profile. And for some companies or some businesses, you can do that. For example, I never see a designer like that because it's a different type of skill and they will tell you things that are not that clear, but they have antennas and they know how to grow with people and they have empathy and they build incredible products that change the life of people. I have partnered with and I have actually employees right now that are not that good at describing what they think and everything, and I have to help them with that. But the creativity that they are bringing to the workspace is just invaluable. And so I've really opened up to a lot of different types of people. And so when I was an employee, I was not dealing with the consequence of not having diverse people. And frankly, sometimes looking back, I was not an asshole, but I was not that tolerant with people who are not fitting the mold. And that's one in like 1,000 examples.
Okay. So what was the third thing that you learned? What are you talking about?
Yeah. The third thing, and I'm still learning that because it's my second company, the vision is really, really, really important and what brings people together. And as a leader, you should take time developing that vision and communicating always, every day, broken record. I realized that in my first company because our vision was powerful. It was name of the company is Chance because we wanted work to be a chance for Bocola and not just like a gig. And so that vision, we brought so many partners, so many investments, so many clients, so many kick-ass employees and everything. And the vision was so big and so powerful that it was a large part of the company's success. And at OSS, I had that in me of saying, I want to do that. And I tried to communicate it even more and say about the vision and not be shy about it because I'm an engineer by trade. And us engineers are very good at system thinking. But when it comes to actually opening up and sharing our vision and not be shy about it, I say we, let's say I'm not very good at that. And so, yeah, it's a work in progress, but it's so integral to the company chances.
Why?
Because most people hate their jobs or are not fired up every morning. And the difference between someone who is fired up about a vision and is working for their version of the mission and the vision is 10x what someone who don't give a damn about their work is outputting.
I agree with you. I've many books about it. And I've interviewed a lot of entrepreneurs who say exactly the same thing, using different words. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Communicate.
It's very hard. It's very hard communicating it, not being shy. Yeah, it's very hard to do, but it's also like the good part of the job.
Yeah, you need to remember that people are not in your heads.
Yes. Yes. People cannot read minds.
Nope.
Unfortunately, for now.
Not yet. Maybe one day. But yeah, they're not in your head, and you are not in their head. So communicate. Don't make assumptions. Absolutely. All right. Take now all your experience, as a former consultant, as an entrepreneur, and summarize it into one practical recommendation for other entrepreneurs. What would it be?
Do it faster and with more intensity. Every time I've postponed a decision, every time I said, okay, I need to slow myself down because people won't like what I have to say, every time it was a mistake. And every time I said, okay, this feels uncomfortable, but let's go. Every time I said, okay, I've been putting off the decision for quite some time now. Even when it's failed, it was a good decision to do it. And so, yeah, I would say that.
Well, why are you saying that? Even when it failed, it was a good decision? Because you learn out of it?
Because it's the Schrödinger failure. You already failed. You just didn't open the box. And so
right.
Putting off the decision is just putting off the fact of opening the box. The failure is already in and so, yeah, the speed with which you do the decision and you do the thing is just, okay, this is a failure. It's okay. Let's go to the next box. Let's take better decisions next time. But yeah, postponing the opening of the box makes no sense. You're just losing time and money.
Absolutely. Nice. All right, last question, Renan. How can people contact you?
Sure. So you can hit us up at oss.ventures, and my mail is renan@oss.ventures. If you are an entrepreneur willing to partner with us, if you are an investor wanting to invest, if you are a factory director and you want to change your factory, please do contact us.
Amazing. Thank you for this very insightful conversation.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening. If you found this episode useful, then you're going to love this. I've put together a free online assessment that I call the Bottleneck Index, which Renan took, by the way. You answer a series of key questions around your working habits, and it gives you your bottleneck score along with some practical recommendations on how to thrive as an entrepreneur. Just visit my website and take it for free. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.